Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find a link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link. You can scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member or not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. If you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. That's courtesy of Jeff Riley. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address, or Sparky, the proprietor of Stunthangar, will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in, just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. You can enter your questions or comments in the chat box, and I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. Now, by the way, sometimes I can't get a word in myself, so be patient, and I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comments. And by the way, you can only do that during a live stream. So like I said, every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, is when you can come in to the live stream and ask your questions or state your comments. If you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host, or the mini building Saturday at John's Garage contest coverage that Sparky does on this platform informative and enjoyable, please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe, and when you subscribe, hit the notification bell and select all, so that whether myself or Sparky comes on, you'll be notified. And when you join our YouTube channel, matter of fact, hit the blue button below. It's only $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. You'll get special emojis I can see in the chat box, and Sparky can see. And we can see the supporting patrons of our channel. So please support us. It's less than 17 cents a day. You get an incredible support with Sparky and John Jordan, myself, and then our illustrious panel. All that for 17 cents a day. It's an incredible opportunity. Now, this is Sparky's YouTube channel. This is not mine. I come in here just twice a week, so you can catch me here on Monday and Friday nights. But if you want to get in touch with me at another time, please go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. And place your comment or question on the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which Sparky shot with his video camera of me flying his beautiful Junar XL. And if you do that, I'll be quickly notified and I'll be able to respond to you right away. I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things that you wouldn't say or do around your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, let me post a link now at Stunthangar Forum. Just bear with me for a second here. So the link here, got that. And let me go and. All right, so I just posted the link. There's a 5-minute delay, so I posted it 5 minutes ago, by the way. And let me go to the YouTube, what I call the control panel, and see if we are streaming. and see how many people we have in the chat box and see what's going on. No, I didn't go flying today. I usually fly on Mondays and Fridays, but today was my oldest daughter. She just turned 18 today. So she's allowing me to do the show, and we will continue to celebrate her 18th birthday. I can't believe it. She's 18. So, but I'm getting used to it. My first day. So let's see here. All right, I got to fix a few things, but looks like we're streaming. We only have 5 concurrent viewers right now, 0 likes, 0. I can't remember the last time ever that I came into the control panel, saw 0 likes. So please, the 5 of you that are watching this right now, please smash the like button. That is important for the analytics of the show. And I need to edit something real quick. I wonder what's going on. That's unusual to see that. Very odd. All right, so now I fixed this on the control panel, and let me see what's going on. No one's in the chat box. Excuse me, no one's in here with me yet, and no one's in the chat box. Okay. All right, well, I'm gonna have to do a little song and dance so I get some company. Well, anyways, I've been working on my my white Strega. I have a red Strega, which is retired after almost, I don't know. I know I logged 562 flights, and there was a lot of flights that didn't get logged. So I think comfortably I can say at least 700, 800 flights on that plane, and I'm retiring it. Looks like Dennis A is coming. Hey, Dennis Adamison, how are you doing? Oh, I can't hear you.
How about now?
I hear you now. Thank you
All
for
right.
coming in, Dennis.
Hey, good to be here. Missed you Friday. So,
Yes.
So anyhow, my God, I'm the first one here.
First one. I was just talking to the audience, and let me just tell you what I was doing. You know, in the after party, Howard asked me about the control system in my SV11. And he suspected that maybe it might be flexing. And I really think, so I went and verified it. I held the flap down in place, pushed up on the elevator, and I could get it to move a little bit. I could flex it. Now, going down, there was no monkey business there, but moving it up, I could flex it a little bit. I mean, not talking a lot, but there was a little bit of movement, which either the elevator horn is flexing or the carbon fiber rod could be bowing, you know, under compression. So I don't know what is going on, but I think Howard Rush is really on to something. And then I was talking to Steve yesterday. Hey, John, how you doing, John? Thanks for coming in. So I was talking to Steve yesterday. He asked me what size wire elevator horn did I use? Well, I said, well, you know, in this case, I was consulting the proprietor of the company that made the horns for me. And he recommended that I go with the 3/32 wire, which ordinarily probably be fine if it was a smaller airplane, is what Steve thought. So it could be a combination of my 3/32 wire is flexing in the elevator horn, or the carbon fiber, or both. Either way, I can replicate a little bit of flexing when I push the up elevator. When I push the elevator up, I can get it to, it gives, in other words, but there's no give when I push down.
Yeah, when you push down, everything's, you know, getting compressed and everything like that. You pull up, everything is. I'm going to toss in one more possibility there. If the holes, is this on the SV11?
Yes, the electric SV11. Yeah.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that was set up for a 1/8 wire horn. If you use the holes that were already drilled in it, those holes may be oversized. If you have a 3/32 wire and a 1/8 hole, you will get movement.
Yeah. Well, you know, I actually didn't use the hardware that came in the kit. So I used Again,
Mhm.
I'm really trying to not name a company because cottage industries, they need all the support and love
Okay.
they can get.
When you move it, can you feel it flexing, or is it just kind of a thunk like there's like it's not touching?
I can feel it flexing. I can flex it. I can flex the
Okay.
elevator up about, I don't know, 3/16 of an inch. I mean, I didn't go much further than that because I could feel no giving in the when I push the elevator down.
Mhm.
Hey Gary, thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hi, guys.
Gary.
Yeah.
Gary, this is a first. I beat you into the chat room. Never happened before. My
Very
life is
good
complete.
observation. That's true. I don't think I don't remember you ever
No,
beating him
Gary's
in.
always
Yeah.
first one here.
Well, I was
So,
waiting on him to get the thing on there so I can get on.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
you got to wait on that. And
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I think he had all of us just waiting, clicking. Yeah, whatever.
yeah, that's right.
He's got us coming in here yesterday. It says May 1st on the
Oh, that's
notification.
Does it say May 1st? Darn it. Let me fix that. Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I'm in denial that my daughter's 18. So that's
Oh,
I thought
my.
maybe we were experimenting with.
And you thought your life was complicated before.
I know. Let me fix this here on YouTube. So I fixed the
Hey.
title on YouTube and I'll fix the title in the at the bench.
Hey, looky here.
Oh, thank you. I was going
Changing
to
months. Look who we got.
Oh,
Look
oh
who our
wow.
cover boy
I
is.
forgot this is the month that I'm on here.
Oh my God.
Thank you very much. Yes. Yeah,
That's the airplane in question.
that's the airplane in
I think-
question. Absolutely.
That's the
I'm gonna
airplane giving you
fix-
grief right now, huh?
Yeah, let me see here. Did I actually gotta go into Stunthangar and yeah, sure enough, let me modify the date on the on Stunthangar. So today is the 2nd. And let me fix that. All right, so any other person, if you're looking for the 2nd and you refuse to come in on the 1st, now I fixed it.
Charles,
Yes.
question on there. Now, if I remember correctly, that elevator push rod is pushing. So it's not pulling, it's pushing when
Correct.
you go to up elevator.
Correct.
Okay, so when you're at the up elevator, can you push it up higher or can you just push it lower?
I just held the elevator, I just held the flap in place and I could raise the elevator. But to answer your question, you're saying if I was to extend the push rod all the way forward, so it's pushing the elevator all the way up, can I go even further? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I haven't tried that yet.
Or do you pull it, can you pull it down?
No, there's no give. There's no give going down.
Well, when it's all the way up, that's what I'm questioning.
Yeah, I got to do that. I haven't done that yet. I just held the flap at neutral, and I was able
Well,
to.
okay, so you've got your flap link. We haven't even talked about that yet. Your problem could be in your flap link.
It could be in the what? I didn't quite get that.
Could be in the link at the flap.
Yeah, Howard Rush was encouraging me to verify where the flex is. I have an endoscope or borescope, and it's designed for an Android phone, but it's the USB mini, is it, or micro? I get those two confused. Anyways, my new phone is a USB-C, so I couldn't hook up the borescope to look into it. But I hope to verify where the flex is. I might end up buying a decent borescope. I saw some on the Bay, and it had a camera and screen all in one instead of trying to use my phone. Hey, Howard Rush, thanks for coming in, Howard.
Hi.
I was just talking about my borescope. We was talking about the borescope, and my phone has a USB-C. And that device was for the USB mini or micro. I can't remember which one it is. I get those two confused all the time. So if I saw some on the Bay, they have a borescope which has a screen, so I wouldn't have to fool around with a phone. So I might invest in one of those. Oh, but another development, Howard, I was talking to Steve Hines and I was sharing with him what you had talked to me about. And he said, yeah. And then he thought, how thick is my elevator wire? And this company that I usually get my horns from, he recommended I go with the 3/32 one in the back, elevator horn I'm speaking of, instead of the 1/8 inch to save some weight. But of course, the 3/32 is more flexible than the 1/8 inch wire, right?
Sure is. Yep.
And
Yep.
let me make you big. Let me make it big here. So Howard, I'm sorry. Now you're big.
3/32.
You're using 3/32.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any problems with the elevator horn flexing?
No.
All right.
You know, something you might try or think about,
Thank you,
Charles.
Howard. Yeah.
You might want to think about if you can depress your flap to the point where you can see where the wires are entering into the horn, not your flap, I mean your elevators, where you can see the wires. And if you mix up some epoxy, you got one of those little glue guns that's got that little curved tip on it. Goes to
Yes.
a really point. You get in there and push some epoxy into there and get it centered, let it set up. That'll stiffen up where you got a 3/32 going into an 1/8 inch hole. That should stiffen up and take care of that problem. You'll have to immediately clean your little glue gun out, or you'll throw it away, one or the other. But
Are you saying for me to inject the epoxy into the wire going into the elevator horn?
yeah, around the horn going
Okay.
in for the elevator, where that wire's going in, just to fill that so that there's no motion allowed in there.
Okay. All right. That's a good idea. I didn't think about that. So that's another great idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I
Let me
was
make you
going to
big.
suggest something similar maybe, but use one of the Gorilla Glues that expands,
Yeah,
because that would, if you can get it in there, it might force itself up next to the wire and everything like that. So
What are
It's a
you
good
trying to show
idea,
us,
too.
Howard?
Huh?
What are you trying to show us?
Oh, I was just illustrating where the control horn goes into the elevator.
Oh, thank you.
Not very well, but that's what I was trying to do.
Okay, well, it's kind of late. I gotta click some buttons to do all this. So, anyways, Dennis, I'm sorry I stepped over your words, Dennis. Oh, you're talking about the Gorilla Glue that expands? I'm not familiar with that glue, but I can look for it.
Be careful you don't glue your elevator to your stab.
Yes, yes, I know. Absolutely.
That's cool stuff. It foams up and fills a gap.
Yeah, that's assuming there's a gap there. I don't know. I mean, this thing has never turned from the first flight. So I don't think it's something that's worn a larger hole.
Where is the wiggle?
I haven't been able to verify that yet because it's just been me holding the plane and pushing up on the elevator horn. I haven't had a chance to.
Well, you let one of us hold it, then the other, then.
Yes, I know. I'll. Now you're up in Washington, right? Yeah, that's gonna be a good trick. But yeah, at least I think you're onto something, Howard. I think you're onto. I think that's where the problem is.
that's a long moment arm you're talking about from your place to Howard's.
Yes.
If Brian were here, he'd go over there.
Yeah,
Yes, I know. Trying. He's have parts. He will travel for them. So far we're up to 20 concurrent viewers and we have 12 likes. Thank you very much, each and every one of you. And Please, if you have not hit the like button, please do that.
Mike's in the house.
And Mike Lonke, thank you for coming in. And I have a new person. Well, maybe not new. I haven't seen him in a while. Steve Minatella. He says, "What's up, Charles?" I said, "Well, what's up is I'm looking at the SV11 and I think Howard Rush is onto something and trying to figure out exactly where the flexing is. But at least I can replicate the flexing, which is probably what I'm experiencing when I give it up. It's not turning because it's flexing." And then Tom Ramos says, "Like provided." And then Jeff Riley says, "Hello, Stunthangar." Thank you, Jeff. And it's been a while since I've seen you come in, Jeff. You haven't been around for a while, so thank you for coming in. You might have been listening. That doesn't mean you wasn't coming in, though, right? You might have just been listening to us. And then Jack Snavely says, "Hello, all around the world, just saying hi again." And he has the airplane emojis. And then Jeff Riley says, "Charles, put a rubber tipped spring clamp on the lead outs to lock them, then isolate the flex." Put a rubber tipped spring clamp on the lead out.
Let's see, I don't kink
Okay,
your
I
dots.
follow you. And then Jeff Riley repeated lead outs. I get you. Then Brent Williams says, "Greetings and salutations." Hey, Brent Williams, I'm so sorry I didn't acknowledge you Friday when you came in and said, "Hi, guys." I wanted to get into to say that, but the conversation was so lively. I ended the show before acknowledging you, so my apologies, Brent. Appreciate you coming in because not everybody who watches this comes into the live stream or even comes in the chat. So I try to acknowledge everybody that I can. So sorry about that.
Have you checked that your flaps or your belt crank is centered? Could there be, the point I'm trying to make, could you be giving more flap one direction than the other? Are you getting equal throws, the same amount of up as down? And you know what I'm trying to say, you get them equal out and all that. You've done that? You made sure?
I've done that. I did that before. Because when I first flew it, there was a question about that. And I want to give credit to Tryon. I love his idea where I ran the masking tape across both up and down lead outs, and then I cut it and I split the tape, and I moved the elevator where they were just one on top of the other, so I had the same pull out length, and I was able to verify that I had equal throw with that method. That worked excellent. So the throw is equal. Now as far as that's all been equalized.
And your elevator matches the equal. Okay, that takes care of that problem.
Yeah, but it flies like, remember when we used to use wire, like music wire, for the push rod between the flap and elevator horns, and remember you didn't anchor the wire, how it would flex. It kind of flies like that. I mean, once I started thinking about it, what the symptoms that I'm experiencing are just like a push rod deflecting. Of course, inside the fuselage, I can't see it, but it sure does feel like it.
Did you use those ends that came with it, or did you put some new ends on it?
Yeah, I'm using those titanium left and right hand ends with ball links. And the ball links are loosey goosey.
But that is one more place to check, though, Charles, if those ends for some reason didn't completely anchor, and if they're moving inside the push rod.
Yeah, well, when I put them together, I sanded the inside of the tubes, pushed the titanium ends in, used JB Weld. Then I took some epoxy with some
Kevlar?
With some not Kevlar, but dental floss, the non-wax dental floss, and wrapped over that intersection where the end goes in all the way up onto the titanium end and then back over the actual carbon fiber rod to keep that from splitting. And it's all done with that's done with epoxy.
Sounds good.
Yeah. That makes
If
sense.
if you hold on to the flaps and try to move the elevators, is there any flex?
Yes, only in the up direction.
Okay, so something's not right.
Yeah.
Something isn't seating in. Could you have stripped out one of the ball links, or is one of those right and left connectors, those car rods, not like Dennis said, not seated in properly or moving a little bit?
I can verify that. I will look into that. I can only, well, I can see them. There's an access hatch right at the elevator horn, and I can look and see the flap horn, and it's in both ends of the, not both, but I can see the end of the flap horn and the end of the push rod coming from the elevator. So I can look at that. So one thing I haven't been able to do is verify where the flexing is occurring. If it's the actual carbon fiber, because it's the thin carbon fiber tubes, the 3/16, I think, the thin ones I'm using. I can't see if that's bowing a little bit or if the elevator horn is bowing. But Howard said he's never had a 3/32 wire elevator horn flex. So
I'm wondering if maybe your horn is flexing in the elevator.
yeah, that's I haven't verified where the flex is yet.
Check that first before
Yeah.
you start tearing it apart. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I can change that push rod relatively easy. Steve and I was talking about cutting the push rod in half and then putting a wire, music wire, part of it in one end and the other half of that wire in the other end, and slide to close it together, and then wrap it with some tow on the outside.
I just can't see that carbon fiber push rod would flex. They're pretty stiff.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but I'd look, I think that there's higher possibilities other places.
No kidding.
That's what Howard was telling me.
Yeah.
He didn't think it was that flexing. So I haven't verified where it actually is flexing. I hope to do that sometime.
Yeah, I've never had one of those push rods flex ever in anything. So that's why I'm skeptical of that. Your
task, if you should accept it, is to verify where it's flexing first.
Yes, and Howard is really strongly encouraged me to do that. And I thought I had a bore scope that I could put into the fuselage to see the actual flexing, but unfortunately it doesn't work with my phone. Let me see here. I have John Lytle. He says, Charles, bring the plane to Rossburg and there will be many gurus and wannabes. We'll get you fixed up. That is so true, John. And that is on my bucket list, John. I look forward to meeting you, and I look forward to going to Northwestern Regionals, but I'm not going to make it this year, unfortunately, unless I win the lottery the next couple of days. I don't think I'm going to go. And then,
where was John last weekend?
John, where was you last weekend? Is what Howard wants to know. And then Steve Manchella, he says, what color is the horn you used for the application? What color? It's a metal. It's the horns that you can get. There's a couple of people who make them, but there's no color that I've never even seen a colored horn. But
Actually, there is I'll call this a nuclear option, the ugly option. Put an external push rod on it from the flap to the elevator. Make it a diagnostic, and if that doesn't help your condition, then you'd have to go back and figure out how to patch it back up. Put your bolt on a nylon horn on the flap and a nylon horn on the elevator externally, run an external push rod like a profile model.
Wow, that is interesting.
That is a brainstorm. Wow.
I don't know if it's a great idea. It's certainly, I mean, even then, what that maybe helps you do is prove or disprove whether it's a flexure or something else. And if it does fix the flex, then you know to look deeper into the main system. Or I have seen seen them at Brodak. There's been a couple of people show up with I don't know the man's name, but there was somebody at Brodax. It seemed every year he had a Nobler with an external push rod on it. And I presume he did it because he didn't want to bother trying to repair horns or replace horns or anything like that.
Yeah, and it's easy
Wow.
to adjust when it's out there too.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I like the choice of words. That is like the nuclear option. That is
Job
great.
is simple
Better
for
than-
the man who doesn't have to do it. So
That's better than dropping a cherry bomb through the inspection hatch.
Yes, yes. Wow, that's interesting.
okay, do one more thing before you do any of that. Lock one side of the elevator. Absolutely lock it to the stab. Take the other side of the elevator and see how far it moves.
Ah, yeah.
If, like Lenny and I were talking about, if there's a problem with the hole in the horn in the balsa in the elevator, that'll show it.
Yes.
That'll be a
great,
laser
brilliant.
beam on it. That'll definitely show it. If you lock the elevator up completely and then wiggle the other side. And if you can feel it wiggling, you know, I mean, obviously, because it's a wire horn, you could make it flex if you wanted, but if you can feel it kind of thunking back and forth, then you know that's a question of not enough, too big a hole and not enough wire.
You know, I don't think it's that. And the reason why is because I have a slider elevator horn.
Won't
I have
matter.
that- I have that
It has
jam.
nothing to do with it.
It had nothing to
doesn't?
do with it. The wire where it goes into the elevator.
That's right. That's what
Remember
we're
I
checking
mentioned-
about.
Oh,
Yeah.
That
I thought you.
airplane-
Okay, I keep thinking you're talking about the hole in the upright.
No,
of
no,
the-
no,
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 no.
no.
Okay, now I'm with you.
What Len and I were both suggested, you know, early on is that the ARF was set up for an 1/8 inch horn. If you have a 3/32 wire going into the same hole, you know, if that hole wasn't completely backfilled with epoxy and stuff like that, you're going to get a slop. Now,
Yeah,
if you do what I just described, it will let you know if the elevators are moving around the horn.
Okay,
If in fact it feels stiff, then you abandon that and you go look for something else, like a flexible push rod or something.
thank you, Dennis. I appreciate that. And I could be mistaken. I could have used an 1/8 inch wire. I just, I haven't measured the elevator wire, and I just know
Well,
that
if you said he said 3/32 to save you weight and everything like that, then that sounds like a smoke. That's a smoking gun.
yeah,
Yeah,
I have to check it out. I
Well-
definitely appreciate what you guys are saying. Yes, Howard.
that's 3/32 devices.
You broke up, Howard. Can you repeat that, please?
3/32 is sufficient.
Okay, I know, but what Dennis is saying is that the ARF was built and probably drilled out for an 1/8 inch wire.
Oh, yeah. Hence, yeah, try his wiggling technique to.
Yeah, and what you're looking for isn't
Yeah.
flexing the wire. You're looking for the elevator moving like it's not connected on one end or the other. All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll do
Exactly.
that.
Is you have a elevator slider, you said?
Yes,
Is it sliding when it's not supposed to?
I'll check that out. I don't believe so.
Well,
I'll check
that surely would cause some exciting flying.
Yeah.
It
We
would.
we can't wait till you get down to the garage tonight.
that. I don't. You know what? I'm actually
We're
gonna.
excited, Charles.
No,
We're
actually,
excited.
It's not gonna happen. I'm gonna have to have someone host the after party because today's my daughter's 18th birthday.
Oh, okay.
That is
All
so
right.
cool.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
After I leave here, I'm gonna go downstairs and
Well, hey,
latte.
If you call her in the room, we could all sing her happy birthday and
You know, I-
embarrass her.
I thought about that, but you know how teenagers are. They're so conscious.
She probably won't hang around for the end of the song. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Probably not. I
However,
wouldn't. If you guys were singing to me, I wouldn't hang around till the end of the song.
Is that all it takes? Let him.
Yes, you
That's all it
would.
takes. I'm out. I don't want to hear all you guys sing at once. I'm scared already.
Oh, I stayed with it when they did sang to me.
Yeah, of
All
course. Of course.
Yeah, I thought it was nice.
Well, you know us. She
You
doesn't
were
know-
awake?
She just knows me. She doesn't know you
Oh,
guys. She might have came in here one time. I know my youngest one, she's been in here a couple times. She actually has sat next to me or stood next to me on a number of occasions when she was younger, but not so much lately. Let me catch up on the chat box. I have Steve Michella. He says, okay, never mind. Oh, he says, it's steel. Don't know if that's a question or if that's a statement. And then Steve Michella says, there's either black or white. I think, Steve, you're thinking about an external horn, those ones that you attach. The horn that I have is a wired joiner wire, and the horn is, I'm not sure. I don't think it's epoxy, but it's brazed on there, I think.
Silver soldered usually or brazed.
I don't know how it was made, but it's not the plastic ones. And then John Lytle says, Howard, last weekend, John was getting something ready for Roseburg. He has not having, excuse me. Yeah, he's basically saying that John does not have an alibi for being excused. Yeah, so, and then John Lytle goes on, the problem isn't the size of the wire. That's what I'm getting consensus from Howard. It's not the size in this case.
Yeah, I misunderstood the issue though. The wire versus the hole size was what Dennis was talking about.
And then Timothy DeBoard, I haven't seen you in a while, Timothy. Thank you for coming in. He says, the song ended with a crash. Oh, excuse me. If the song ended with cash, she would wait. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Very money motivated, my teenagers are. And then Stephen Chella says, I see. Thank you very much, guys, for your interest in my situation. Appreciate it very much. But I think we're on to something, and I am looking forward to fixing it, because the SV11, I've seen two of them fly right in front of me, and I know they're a good flying plane. So, and I saw Mike when he did it on his Facebook channel. I saw his flight, and I know they fly good. Hey, Al, how's it going, man?
Hey, Charles. It's going good.
Good.
It's working in the shop.
No problem. Hey, I think that's part of what the show is about, for us to work in our shops and hang out.
Yeah. It's the bottom half of my perky.
Oh, very cool. Now, what is that made out of?
It's fiberglass.
Let me make it big here so everybody can see it real quick. Now, did you mold that?
Yeah. Actually, my friend Jim did it. But this is old. It was, it's been crashed, and I'm resurrecting it.
Very cool. Very cool.
So it's stripping it all down, reinforcing it where it cracked, and getting all ready to prime it up again and paint it black again. This the bottom half.
Very interesting. Very cool.
Engine comes out here. The mini pipe comes through there.
Wow.
There's the tail skid, what's left of it.
Yeah. It's kind of worn down to a point almost, huh?
Oh yeah, it's deadly. It's like a hypodermic needle.
Did you get a shower of sparks when that landed?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
probably
know,
at
but-
night you would see it, but during the day, I don't think you could see it.
We flew. We have two of them. The sister ship of this and we flew it, I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago on a Sunday. They had a contest for him. And from a dead stop, it was timed at 119 miles an hour.
Wow.
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 Wicked. I was flying. The thing jumped off the ground like a catapult. You know, I just.
Wow. Now, what length lines are you using in that kind of category at the Perkies? I don't know. I never flown Perky. I never even seen it. I was too busy at Brodax. I missed all the Perky events.
Yeah, they're flown on 52.
Okay.
I think 52 or 6. Yeah, 50. I think it's 50. Yeah, 52, because you have to complete 16 laps, and it's time from a dead stop.
Wow.
But yeah, so that's what I'm up to.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing, man. Appreciate it.
And then Sunday we had our first combat contest.
How'd it go?
Yeah, it was slow the first couple of rounds, you know, because nobody flew and their stuff is all, you know, been in hibernation. But well, you know, once we got rolling and things were going good.
How many guys did you have show up?
What's that?
How many showed up?
There was eight competitors.
Very good. So that was slow and fast combat?
No, just speed limit.
Just speed limit. Okay.
You know, like they fly at Brodak.
Is that a dolly takeoff? What you got there in your hand?
This no,
Yes.
no, this wheels.
It has wheels all over. Okay.
Yeah, it just takes off. It has its own wheels. They actually, the wheels are on the upper half. I don't have the upper half here, but the gear comes out through these little grooves here.
I wonder if the original designer of the Perky, if they saw what the heck you guys are doing with them, he would be,
Yeah,
he would be mind. I mean, back in the day, that's like a 60 or 70 mile an hour airplane, isn't it?
yeah. See, at Brodak, they were just breaking 100.
Uh-huh.
Then our group got involved. Jim made this thing. You know, he's you know, Jim Vagani. He's a very good technical builder, and I'm really good with engines and tanks. So we combined everything in the first time out. We went 112 miles an hour, and then you know, and playing with props and tanks and everything like that, and learning how to fly it better, trimming it, you know, getting it off the ground without, you know, any little bump in the air or whatever. And then we catch a nice weather day, you know, every little bit helps. And, you know,
Absolutely.
His went really, his was amazing. But, I think with this, I won Perky at Brodak. Well, I mean, not at Brodak. Yeah, I won it at Brodak, but I mean, I won it for the year too. And this was just under 117 miles an hour. And then Jim's plane just bested me. 19. But the same thing, I can show you the engine. I got the engine over here.
All righty. We have a person from that country, can't remember the name.
Azerbaijan.
Yes, Azerbaijan. He says, I translated it and it says, "Greetings, dear modelers. Thank you very much.
Good to have you here.
Yes.
Good to have you here.
Okay, so
Hey guys, how are you? Whoa.
Hey, what's
look at
up,
that.
Phil? I don't see you, but I hear your voice. Look at
What's
that
that?
motor. I was just saying hi to Phil. Phil
Oh.
Bailey's in.
Hey Charles, how are you?
Doing well, buddy. Thank you for coming in. You see
so
Al's motor here?
What the heck is that?
it's a combat motor, and I run it with this mini pipe, which is legal. It has to be, it can't be longer than, I forget, like 6 inches, and it has to be a single diameter. It can't have a taper. So that's the engine for it. And then like this, basically,
Wow.
the bottom half goes, where the heck is it?
There you go.
that goes through there, and then this comes out.
Well, that looks
Oh, man.
wicked. That looks so wicked, Al.
That is wicked.
Oh yeah, you should hear it run if you want
I
to
can
see
imagine.
wicked.
I'm amazed at all those head bolts. I mean, it's a small motor, right?
Yeah, well, no, that's not bolts. Those are holes. The whole head screws on, and you have a special wrench that goes that grips.
Spanner
Oh,
wrench.
okay. I thought.
Called
it
a
was-
spanner wrench. Yeah, that's cool.
But this is the whole internal's been totally redone. Like this engine here has on top of the piston has a bronze ring on it, and the bronze ring is what seals it to the chrome liner.
Mm.
Huh.
So
Wow.
it's pressed on the top of the piston.
Wow.
And of course, if Venturi's been opened up, it started life as an F2D combat engine.
So how many RPMs you get out of that motor?
They're running around 28,000.
Wow.
Wow.
How do they stay together at that?
These engines are amazing. So this one's been highly modified, but the one I have in the one that actually beat this one was regular, just a Super 4 that you can buy, and that I modified with the Venturi and just tuned up the spacing with the head, to get the right compression and everything.
Wow.
I just picked up my first 4 of 15, Al,
Okay.
All right. Hey, congrats.
from
Oh, yeah.
Dane Martin had one for sale. He said
Okay.
he just barely broke in. It still needs break-in time. But it's legal. It's a current legal F2D engine, so I thought I'd start getting
Yeah.
some collected for Samuel. We got 8 Profis from Colombo, but I figured I better start getting him some 4s too, just to.
Yeah, I can show you a Super 4.
Oh man, you're just gonna make me want one.
Hey, Al.
They're like $350, aren't they?
Yeah, but I bought the one in Jim's plane. I paid for 180, and this one I picked up used for 150. Before that's how you tell. You see the
Yeah.
Venturi.
Are you gonna? That gonna be a Perky motor, or are you gonna fly F2D with that?
No, I've been playing with Perky. I mean, I don't fly F2D, but I do have F2D ships, of course. But I just fool around with them.
Well, you want to sponsor Sam? We'll put Ferraro's Auto Body Center on all his airplanes, man.
All right.
It's
Good try, Mike.
Yeah, I know, right? You always got to
Mike-
try.
be a sponsors. Are you kidding?
Hey,
That's-
Al. Sorry, I forgot to ask why you had the motor in front of you. It looked like the pipe was a lot bigger than the exhaust port. Do you seal that off at the engine end, or?
You're talking the mini pipe.
Yeah, the mini pipe looks like it's bigger than the exhaust. And it
That's-
kind of rattles. Do you
That-
have a gasket on that or something?
I do have a gasket on it, but
Okay.
a very wise man told me I was sealing the pipe, like you were saying. And a very wise man said, don't seal it, have it dump into it.
Huh. So it's like
You know?
it's like a duct, really,
Right.
rather than a. I'll be darned.
Because this is a mini pipe. It's
Yeah.
not taped, or like how the new. Let me go back to the. That's sort of what they're doing with these mufflers. Like
Mhm.
let me see that Mike has.
I think you guys are getting Mel Rogers excited. He said, "That's some engine porn to me."
Here's the, now these, these fit tight on there.
Yeah.
And they have a taper, but this would be illegal to run. But then found out, and I was playing, part of it's playing with all pipes and putting them on tight. But you can see this one, it's much bigger. I just put the gasket on there so it doesn't go metal to metal. And then you see it gets screwed down to the plane, the body of the plane in the back.
Mhm.
Okay.
But I had my best results with this, this together.
Interesting.
Now Jim's plane is just running like the one that went faster is just running, just like that.
Really, no pipe at all. Okay.
No pipe. Yep.
Wow.
Al, I've got a question for you. I think it's in the same vein. But over on your wall there, I see what looks like some racing planes. Are those?
The Japanese, the one with the
No,
zero.
no.
I'm looking at the one with the red star. It looks like a yak.
Oh, that's what that? It's a squaw.
No. The red star and the green paint job on the far left side. It's got a
Yeah. Oh, that's the Polish plane. What do they call that?
McLovin.
It looks like a yak.
No, it's not a yak.
Or a law.
Nope.
I want to know what the red one is. Looks like a stunt wing.
Oh wow.
Oh,
That's so cool.
Polycarpov.
Cool.
Polycarpov. Okay. But is that one of your racing planes or just out for
Yeah.
fun?
Here's the name of it here.
Yeah, Polycarpov,
Mm-hmm.
I-16. Yeah. Preceding that was basically the same airplane, but it's biplane.
This is for Warbird. We had an event where any engine up to a 36, except the Nelson, and you would run it 140 laps.
Wow.
Go under 110. Here's a. Tell you what.
You got a Baca bomb there.
Yep. And this is a Baca bomb. And it's all set up like a slow rat plane. But that's with the Mark 7 with the shut off.
Oh yeah.
That, we used to race, but this hasn't been flown in probably 7 years. But I do a lot of racing. Probably more than that, probably 12 years. My friend Pat, about 7 that I always used to race.
Yeah. Well, I was just curious of what was going on over there.
What is that red one?
That red one is a German, probably a Fokker.
No, not that one. The combat looking. It looks like a stunt wing or something.
Which one are you talking about?
To the left. To the left.
The other left.
Left,
Yeah,
left,
there we
left.
go.
Now. Well, I don't see it now. Wait a minute. Where was it?
That small red one?
No, it was a big red one.
Oh, the Jaguar.
Well, no, that's beautiful, but
pretty.
that's not. No, I thought it was hanging on to one. That is pretty though. That's the first Jaguar I've seen actually finished.
Um,
Turn around one more time. Turn around to the left. It's kind of big. There it is back there. Red and black. What is that?
That
thing?
looks like
it's Werewolf. Larry Stringy's Werewolf.
Okay, I
Werewolf.
knew I'd seen one before, but I didn't know what
That's
it was.
cool
That is
looking.
a wicked looking airplane.
And T-square.
That's cool. That's cool.
And we were doing a lot of half A, racing, half A read.
Yeah, we did that years ago. It was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, no, we That's another one. And it's a Sprinzy Super Satan.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I've seen one of those. I've launched one of those for a fella. It was halfway around the circle before I realized I let go of it.
And then
Too fast
that's
for me.
that's my slasher.
That's pretty. I like that.
I like that too. I like the blood drips.
The paint job looks like it was inspired by actual events.
Yeah. Right. And this was my not winning clown racer.
Oh yeah.
08 OS 18 TC car engine.
Ooh.
That's interesting wheel assortment there on that plane. The one larger wheel on the inboard and the smaller wheel on the outboard.
Yeah, because in the heat of battle, that makes it, so the thing doesn't hook left on you when you're racing, or catch something.
Right.
So that's why I put the bigger wheel on the inboard side. So when you hit the ground, it keeps the lines tight. You catch a little rut in the asphalt, it's deadly. But
How does your Jaguar fly?
it flies really nice. It has a LA 46 in it.
Cool.
Very nice.
Did you put the scoop on the bottom?
Excuse me?
Did you put the little scoop on the bottom? Is the Jaguar?
Wait, let me see if I can. Oh, how do I? Oh, here we go.
He asked if you put the scoop in the bottom of the Jaguar.
No.
I see. That's the way I would build it. I'd leave the scoop off. That's pretty. That is
Very nice.
really pretty.
I didn't build this.
Whoever did, they did a nice job.
Yeah,
I love the muffler. I love the muffler. I do that too.
Yeah.
That's an OS. Looks like an OS muffler. It's been cleaned up.
There was another. It was a stunt flyer from the club that passed away.
They did a pretty job.
Widow sold this stuff, and so I picked that up. But it flies really nice.
It's a good looking airplane.
That's a pretty plane.
I had it for a while, and I stopped. I didn't fly it until I got comfortable doing a pattern.
Yeah,
because I'm a really new stunt flyer.
Well, you're a heck of a modeler, that's for sure.
Oh no, I mean engines. Engines are my things, and repairing stuff, but
really pretty, really pretty.
But compared to guys like my friend Jim, oh my God, that's he can really put some stuff, really crazy stuff together. And then this is the plane. This is the slow rat that I won the Nats with this year.
Nice. Congrats.
Neat deal. Congratulations.
Yeah, I won that, and that's another engine that I did. That thing's a beast. That engine. But
man, you guys that can do all this engine work have me at all. I kind of buy them and fly them. That's it.
What kind of lathe was that, Al?
What's that?
What kind of lathe was that you was just showing us on your bench? Is that a lathe?
Yeah, it's a little mini lathe.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm looking for a little bench top mini lathe.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not as accurate. It has a little bit too much run out for getting really crazy with stuff,
Yeah.
But I mean, for in a pinch, I can make it work.
Yeah.
See, I got engine parts all over the place.
Oh, I bet. I know you're a gearhead.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, I have a friend who's interested in working on motors, Joe Mata, and he really would like to get into that stuff.
Mike said he had a Profi, right? A Profi.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got one of those too. I got on a clown racer.
Wow.
Let me see.
Look at that.
This man is
Yep.
really into some racing. That's sharp.
A guy that doesn't
That's-
live, that lives fairly close to
That's
me.
why I can't hear out my right ear, because I was always pitting, and then the plane would take off, and then I would turn my head to the left to pick up all the gear off the ground, the battery, the bolt, the fuel syringe and all that stuff. And
Yeah,
as the plane's about like 2 feet off the ground, I'd get whacked in the air with the, with the noise.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
the car engines, were really bad. But then when we moved to, moved up to the 25s, that really, these things really hurt your ear.
yeah.
And
One I
then,
remember was LKMB Greenhead.
yeah,
One of our local guys used to love to fly those things on combat planes and on just his fun planes. And the Clayton Smith, you may have met him. And Lord, that thing would hurt your ears. It just kill you. He's the guy that designed the Tiyasaki, and he was quite a model, quite a friend.
yeah, yeah. I got one of them. I got one of them too. Let me see if, one of these. Let's see. Try to. Yeah, let me just hold it this way.
Oh yeah,
Big Greenhead 35.
that thing
Yeah.
right there will put a screaming on you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Plus the exhaust is pointed right at you.
A profile.
That's what I got.
The exhaust faces up. Yeah, the
Oh my
exhaust
word.
faces up on those Greenheads.
Yeah, they're
It's on
amazing.
the outside.
Yeah,
I never
they're
forget.
amazing.
A guy had one of those on a profile and asked my friend to hold the plane for him. The line.
Yeah,
He was sorry he did that.
Yeah, I bet.
Uh-huh.
yeah. I used to Rusty. What was his name? Rusty Brown came here one year, and he brought his 2 big airplanes. I cannot remember the names of the planes. I'm sorry. 'Cause some days I can remember everything. Some days I can't remember anything. Anyway, it had a Fox 59 on it with no muffler.
Yeah.
I was flying a Fox 59 at the time, but mine had a muffler on it. I had no idea how loud that thing was without a muffler. My ears rang for 2 days.
Yeah. Yes. So.
Rusty used to fly the Humongous. I remember that.
Used to fly what?
Humongous?
Humongous?
No, he had I've got both the plans downstairs. I'll look them up and tell you all
Icarus.
that. Icarus was one of them. That's an English design. It originally had a Red Hat 60 in it, and the other one was built very much like it, but it was a bolt-on, big, huge wing, rubber band on.
The box
wasn't
chief?
it? Huh?
No,
A box chief?
I want to say it's like a Cosmo Cobb, something like that.
I can't remember. I'll get the name because I have plans from him downstairs. But I can't remember what it's called, but it was a huge airplane. I mean, it had a wing. The wing looked as big on that fuselage as a Humongous does on it, and it was just a really big airplane. Both those airplanes flew so well. He was just so much fun to be around. Rusty was a mess. He'd come out here from the West Coast with a daggum in a car with him and a dog and a back end of the car just full of airplanes.
Yep.
And he come out and met Tommy and I at Hobby Park, and we flew just all day. And then went to the East Coast Golden Oldies, and he flew, and he was just fun to be around. He was a character, and he'd win, fly. The motor would quit, and he'd do a couple maneuvers with no motor. You're nuts. I told him, you're just plain nuts.
Yeah. Hey, Steve,
remember
thanks for coming in, Steve. Appreciate it.
Hey,
Hey,
Al,
Mike.
thank you for showing us your shopping airplanes.
Yeah, you got a nice collection of planes.
Is Mike there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I had to go check the calendar.
Yeah, I tried those the people out, in the adapter, and even with the Nelson one, it was pulling my hair out. I had to give up on it and buy a different plane. So let me know if you have luck with that.
Yeah, they're just in a pile over here right now. I just went ahead and put my needles on my
Yeah,
fast for now.
I got the gaskets in the mail today.
I got them yesterday, so I haven't had a chance to fool with them yet.
All right, yeah, but yeah,
No, I had to go on the calendar. I just had an airline pilot message me. I got an airplane for sale on Facebook Marketplace, and this guy says, I'm an airline pilot with Alaska Airlines, and I'll be in Nashville tomorrow around 4. Can you bring the airplane to my hotel downtown? I was like, hell yeah, for $400 I'll deliver it. You bet your butt I will.
is that what one are you selling?
It's one of the ones I won in a raffle, but it's an electric ducted fan jet,
Oh, that one, yeah.
6S batteries, and I'm not interested in flying it. I don't want to fly EDFs because they're super fast. The field is rough where I fly, and I don't want to have to buy a bunch of 6S batteries. So I'm just going to sell it and put the money towards control line. I mean, it's a $500 jet, and I'm letting it go for $400, so it's a deal.
So, what I was showing you on Friday, that was the speed limit version of the fast plane I gave you. And that thing flies beautiful too.
Okay.
Hey, Mike, did you ever get a hold of Peter?
Nope. He never answered up. I emailed him, I texted him, and I left a voice message.
I
And
didn't get an answer from him either.
I messaged his daughter-in-law. I finally figured out who that was,
Oh, did you?
but I haven't heard anything back. So
No. Yeah. I don't know.
I thought
Yeah,
about him today too.
I try to, do obituaries or whatever, but they want you to pay to have the search done and all that kind of stuff. They're supposed to be public records, but
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know.
the only thing I could do is go to my boss. I know they got a subscription to that deal. When they hire people, they run people through. Maybe I could get him to.
See if you're actually dead.
Yeah.
Hey, I found something interesting out today. I know probably a lot of you guys use Tower Hobbies like I do. You buy occasional things from them.
Yeah.
Check your customer points balance. Because today I went to order some glow plugs because I've only got about 4 or 5 glow plugs left for speed limit planes. I'm like, all right, well, I'll buy a dozen, and they're $11 a piece now. They're $10.99 now. And I go into my cart and I'm going down the list there to check out, and it says use customer points. You have 1,600 points. And I'm going, oh, what's this? I've never seen this before. So I clicked on it, and it gives you the option to use anywhere from 100 up to all of them. And it tells you what your discount will be based on the number of points. Well, 1,600 points got me $40 off my order.
Oh, very good.
So my $110 worth of glow plugs ended up being, $70, which was pretty nice. I never knew that was there. I did not know that Tower gave you points for, it's, I guess, based on the money you spend with them, and you accrue it over time, and then you can go in there and use it. So when you get on Tower, check your customer points and see where you're at. You might be sitting on a gold mine there.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
That's neat. Good idea.
Hey,
Hey, Len.
go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Len's awake. I thought he was sleeping.
Barely.
Hey, Friday night when you showed that airplane of yours, man, that's really nice. I didn't know Naomi did such good work.
Naomi, I got news for you. Naomi does a lot of the work because she designed the layout of the graphics and everything. She does the designs. I just paint them.
Oh yeah, okay.
She designs them. I tweak them and paint them.
I think she does it all, and you just show it off on.
Well, that's
on
true
the show.
too. That's right. It's a lot further along now. I got about 90% of the paint done now.
Well, show us.
I got a few touch-ups. Do you want me to show you again?
Yeah, show us.
Yeah,
Ben, sounds like
Hang on.
Sounds like you found the secret to my success.
I got something I started a couple
Let the
hours.
wife decide it. Let the wife figure it out.
Brendan,
Yes.
I started 4 hours ago on this. I got the wing together,
Cool.
leading edge, balsa, spars, and got the canopy joined to the fuse. The engine crutch is over here, setting up right now. And I got the elevator cut out and ready to go. I'm getting ready to hinge the
Wow.
elevator, old school, silk and dope, but I'm about 4 hours into this build right now.
Who
Very
are you
nice.
putting that together for?
What's that?
Who are you putting that together for?
I'm putting it together for my buddy Chris. I'm gonna give him a brand new airplane to take to Joe Null, so he
Nice.
doesn't have just a bunch of crap, you know. Because this is the 5th one of these I've built. They always turn out really good. They fly great. They're strong. They fly straight. They'll do the whole pattern. They're tough.
What's it
So
called?
They don't turn into a bag of balsa when you
no,
get
they don't.
What is it?
It's the rugged stunt trainer from Phil Cartier. Everybody knows what they are. Rugged stunt
Oh, I
trainer.
see the fuselage now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Phil was with us.
I saw the pictures, Al. I saw he was with you guys. Yeah. I'll be covering this tomorrow. I'll probably let the epoxy gas off for a little while on the fuse before I dope it, but I'll have the wing covered tomorrow. And I should have the elevator hinged by the end of tonight anyway.
That's cool, Mike.
Well, I heard back from Fioretti, the Cobra ESC does not work with his timer. Well, it works, but it doesn't work that good. So I sent him
Oh,
one
well.
to try out.
It was worth a try anyway, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, for the price of it and stuff. Yeah, he sent me a new one. Well, I sent him one back that didn't work, and he sent me a brand new one. But
Is that the one with blue light?
I don't know. I haven't plugged it in or anything. It's got a kind of see-through green case and a little deal there that goes on, and I'm not sure.
Well, mine had that, but my CU case, the
Here,
case
Brent.
didn't stick to it.
The blue blinking light.
Yeah, it has some kind of a blinking light on it.
And you said that with the Cobra?
Pardon me?
You said it doesn't work with the Cobra motor?
No, the
ESC.
Cobra ESC. They make
Oh.
an ESC that is for drones, and it has the same programming just like the Jetty and some of the other ones.
Okay.
But they quit making the one for the helicopters, and that's the really one I wanted to try, but they can't get them. So I bought the one for the drone that was so fast, but he said that it doesn't work as good as that's something light. I can't think who makes that one.
I can't remember what it's called either.
The Castle Ice Light.
Yeah, the Castle. He said it doesn't work as good as the Castle. It works. They're gonna play with it some more, but he said for right now it's he doesn't think it's what we'll want. So, but yeah, that's the update on that. I mean, it took like a month and a half to get there, but oh well.
Let me
I
make a
started
shout out
something.
to Brandon. Thank you, Brandon, for coming in.
Yep, no problem.
So you guys,
Here comes Lynn Burrell.
that has these things, that green thing on there, is that to go on the outside? I don't
Oh, that
understand
is
what that's
pretty.
for, unless it's just to cut the hole.
Hang on a second, Steve. Showing Lynn's plane here. He's Bear.
Really nice, Len.
Oh man,
Looking good,
That's
Lynn.
coming along.
That
Nice.
is pretty, Lynn.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to see how good Naomi can clear. She paints well.
Yeah. I guess we'll have to
Polar
wait and
bear.
see.
I love it.
you.
Absolutely great.
Polar bear, very
I
cool.
love
Polar
that.
bear.
That's sharp.
Mhm.
That's sharp.
Gonna look good with a big old American flag sticker on it at Brodak.
Yeah, you're damn right.
There you go.
I got my Canadian flag on the tail on one side, and then if I turn it around, I've got my Ukrainian support flag.
Ah,
All
very
right.
cool.
All right. All right.
So yeah, it's coming along okay, folks.
That is
Very
nice.
nice.
That's a whole lot better than okay, Bubba.
Thank
That's
you.
sharp.
Yeah, it should look okay when it's done, that's for sure.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
what's that gonna have in it?
Rojet 61 on a pipe.
Oh, okay, cool.
Well, that's a big engine for that.
650 squares roughly.
Bear had a 65, it was 61 in it, and then he put a 65 in it. Then he
Okay.
went to a different wing and extended the tail about 3 inches and put a 75 in it.
Wow. Okay.
So it was the one everybody calls the big bear was a PA 75. And
So in other
I
words,
got-
this might not be my last one.
No. I have the information on how to stretch the plans to build the big bear,
Awesome.
but I've drawn it twice and I haven't got it to look right yet. If I ever get it to look as aesthetically pretty as that one, I don't know what in the world I put into it now because my 75's gone or will be, but
Right.
it's a beautiful airplane. It's just a really pretty
Okay.
airplane. I saw Bears and was looking at it and he had it under his sheet at the Nationals.
Right.
And he said, yeah, the people clean up my room are going to wonder what the heck happened to my top sheet. But anyway, it was out there in the field over his airplane and he had it uncovered for a few minutes. I went over, took some pictures and was looking at it as close as I dared get where nothing could fall out of my pocket or anything. He walked
Yeah, you
up
don't
and
want to get too close with stuff.
No. Well, I didn't have anything in my pockets, but I kept checking to make sure. So
Yeah.
he finally come over and he says, what are you scared of? I said, what do you mean? He said, it won't bite. Pick it up. So I'd met him before, but I didn't know him real well. He
Right.
said, pick it up. So I went to pick it up and here's this massive airplane and it weighs nothing. I mean, it just,
Wow.
Bear could flat build an airplane. The top deck was all 1/16 with carbon veil over it. And I don't know what the weight is. Bobby Hunt does, I'm sure, but I don't. But it was light. I was impressed how big the thing was and how light it was. It just blew me away that anybody could build that big and light. But he said
Byron.
the secret is just like Sparky said, light finish, thin paper. You don't have to build up so much. He used incredibly thin paper on it. And I told him, you got to be kidding. Send me just a little piece of that paper so I can see what you're talking about. Because it can't be what I think you're saying. And he sent me a piece of it, and it was. It's stuff I'd be scared to put it on a half A. And it's what was on Bears Nationals Bear.
Wow.
That stuff is incredibly thin. But like Sparky says, the strength is actually in the paint.
Yeah.
Once it's on it and sticks to it. I don't know. Those guys just on another level. I don't quite understand all that stuff yet.
Well, they're not scared to push the envelope on lightness, on, making stuff lighter and not stronger. They push it right to the edge. And hey, if
Yeah, it
you've
works.
got the guts to do it, you know exactly where to put the right amount of glue and paint and everything else, you can do
Yeah.
it. But I chicken out always. I
Well,
get
I do
stuff and
too.
I go, I got to have a little more glue than that. Oh, I got to have a little more paint than that. I got to have a little more tissue than that.
Yeah, my buddies keep telling me one of these days you'll get it. I said, well, I've been doing this stuff since I was 9 and I'll be 67 next month. So I don't think I'm ever going to get it.
Well, some of the ways in
Try.
which we do things is very highly ingrained, and we do it that way because we've always done it that way. And so when
Yeah.
we see other people do things, we go, "Oh, that's not strong enough. I'm not doing that."
Yeah.
And that's what it
Luke.
is, and I'm sure of that.
Loop and I have done some airplanes that I just knew were never going to fly because they're going to fly apart. And we flew them for years. We finally did both break them, but it was because they hit the ground, not because, well, his hit the ground. Mine got crushed on the ground. A RC car come loose and came across the track and came up and just landed in it, tore it all to pieces. And I was not about to put that thing back together. It was toothpicks. So anyway, I don't mind losing one flying, but I hate to lose one on the ground. That just really ticks me off.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, Steve, I kind of stepped on what you was trying to show. Do you want to try to show it again, Steve?
Yeah, on this, guys who have this, this is different than the ones I had before. What is the little piece of green stuff for?
It's just to cover it. Oh, that goes, you can use that as a template to cut your fuselage for that to go through.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Yeah, because I'm like, it does fit on there, but if you do fit it, if you fit it on, then it wouldn't
no
poke
room
out through the wood.
Yeah, no, just use it as a template.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's what we did.
Nice.
That's what we used on the Revolution to put mine in the Revolution. And I hope it works. I haven't flown it. He's over there now, I think, with it. So hopefully he'll get a chance to fly it.
Anybody talk to him? Did he finally everything work out? Or
I talked to him Friday night. He'd run up to Mike's and borrowed some batteries because 4 of his batteries went flat. And I had a chance to loan mine to a fella, and he needed them and he had 6 ordered, but he didn't have his in yet and he was leaving for a contest. So he took mine, and then the new ones are supposed to be here Wednesday. So I'll get the 6 brand new ones, and he got his in time to go to the contest. So
Tryon has the distinct honor, because Howard, Steven, and myself were still on the live chat at 3:30 in the morning Friday. Tryon has the distinct honor of being the only guy to have been on the live chat in 2 states in the same night.
Wow.
He got on at midnight. I don't know how many of you guys were on still when Tryon came on, but he drove from Atlanta to my house at midnight and got here at 3:30 in the morning, picked up my batteries. I gave him a Gatorade, a bag of chips, and let him take a wee, and then he was gone in 10 minutes. I mean, he was in and out.
How far is that drive, Mike?
Red Bull.
It's usually like 3.5 hours, but he made it in 3.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't make it in 2.5. That man can drive. He is not scared to put the pedal down. Oof. I'm getting old. I ain't brave enough for that. Yeah, Howard's ready to go, it looks like.
I have a comment, you guys, from Mark Lumen. He says, before that, Timothy DeBoard, he says, I am so far behind. Well, Timothy, if you have any questions, we can help you catch up. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Maybe those engines that Al and Mike were talking about. But anyways, Mark Lumen says, like has been transmitted. Now it'll go through 5 firewalls, 2 government agencies, and at least 1 Tibetan monk.
Oh, Mark,
so where's the bird?
Michael, if you ever he's right behind me. If you ever get home, I got to come down there and spend some time with you. You're as crazy as I am. I think we could have some fun. He's nuts. Now we just got to get Steve to come down and Mike to come down, and the 4 of us can have a blast. Then throw Trayan in the mix. I make no promises.
But if you want to have a party, then you got to add Joe Gilbert and Scott Dinger.
Joe Gilbert and Scott Dinger are walking. Those 2 get together, it is a party. Gosh. Lord, Joe Gilbert's a mess. I think the world of him. He's a nut. I don't know what Trayan would be like if he let his hair down. He is wild enough and crazy enough and so dadgum smart that if he ever let his hair down, it'd be fun to watch. That much I'm sure of.
Well, Phil, just introduce them to Long Island iced teas.
Oh no.
You got history. You got experience with those, right?
Oh man, yeah, I got history with them in Chicago, no less. Oh my God.
You told that story at Brodak. Yeah. I about split a gut. That was so funny.
Oh well, man, you should have been there. I I was known for bouncing around. I never sat down. I was known for never sitting down. I always went from one end of the booth to the other, like I was a nervous wreck the whole time. I wasn't, but I just never sit down. I knew if I sat down, I'd probably go to sleep, so I didn't sit down. That day I had to sit down. Reason being, I told everybody I'd sprained my ankle. Truth was, I was too drunk to walk. I didn't know what a Long Island iced tea was. So when I sit down there and the girl asked me, "What would you have?" I said, "Just bring me an iced tea. I'm just trying to cool off and relax a minute." And I wasn't thinking about it. I just watched the band, and I had set the chair behind me facing the other way for breakfast an hour before, 2 hours before. So it never occurred to me, and I'd never heard of a Long Island iced tea. So the girl brought me an iced tea, and I took a spoon out of it and drank it. And it was good. I was listening to music, and I was really getting into jazz, which I don't usually dig jazz. But anyway, I was getting into jazz, and she came by. She said, "Hey, care for another?" I said, "Yes, please." She said, "Refill." So anyway, she brought me a refill, and I'm just about finished with it. And my boss walks up, and he come from downstairs at the show. It's going to start in just a few minutes. He says, "What in the hell are you doing?" "What do you mean?" "I'm listening to the band." And he looks at me and he says, "You don't know, do you?" "Know what, Chuck?" Chuck Rudder, great guy, but very dry sense of humor. And I said, "What are you talking about, Chuck?" He says, "Never mind, because the girl brought the bill about that time." Well, I got a glimpse of it, and I thought 2 glasses of iced tea are $17. Wow. Chuck put it on his bill. He signed it and put it on his room bill. Chuck don't do that. Chuck don't put anybody's bill on his bill.
Oh, he was just covering your butt, huh?
Well, no, he was covering. He wanted to see what happened next. I stood up. Now I'm in a tie and a 3-piece suit, and I'm ready to go to an international trade show. I took about 4 steps toward the show and had to grab 2 chairs, a chair and a table, to stand up. And I said, "What the hell's the joke?" He said, he leaned over and whispered in my ear, "That's called Long Island iced tea. There's about 7 different liquors in it." And I said, and I'll never forget this one, I just said, "Holy shit, I'm in trouble now."
Yeah.
He says, "No, we'll cover for you." Nobody. He said, "How did you not know?" He said, "You could smell it." I said, "Chuck, I can't smell. When you break wind in your little bitty car and I don't comment on it, it's not because I'm trying to be polite. It's because it's all air to me. I don't know."
Oh.
And he says, "Oh my God, we got to do something with you, boy."
Yeah.
So we got to get you out of the house more often. I said, "Yeah." I'd hardly been in the house in 6 months, been on trade show circuit. But anyway, we got downstairs and he helped. When we got to the bottom of the escalator, he says, "You lean on me. Reg is going to be here." Reg Haynes owned the company. He said, "Reg is going to be here. You lean on me." So I leaned over on him. He said, "This dummy went and sprained his dadgum ankle." So they got me a chair and I sat down on the outfeed end of the machine, and I sat there the whole show answering questions. Now, I'll tell you how long ago this was. The booth that was directly in front of us on the other side of the aisle was this new place I had never heard of before. It's a coffee shop. You've probably heard of it.
Yes.
So anyway, I had never heard of it before. It was something brand new at the time. So anyway, I don't remember what year it was, but I'm telling you what, the coffee shop it's taken over this area anyway, but they are, I can't think of the name of it. Starbucks. Thank you. My mind don't work some nights. Jack, I'll take you out in a few minutes. But anyway, I sat there all night, all evening, Chuck kept handing me cups of black coffee. So I'm drinking black coffee. And about every 20 minutes, of course, I had to get up and go to the restroom. So I'd lean on Chuck, he'd take me to the restroom, and I'd walk in, do my business, come back out, lean on Chuck, come back to the chair. I don't think anybody, as far as I know, they never caught on to what was going on until about a month later. And then the boss finally heard what I'd done. He come in my office. I'm in there trying to fill out worksheets, and I'm knee deep in so much crap that's got to be done before the end of the month, which is about 2 days away. And he says, did you really? I said, yes, sir. I really didn't know what it was. And I really didn't, whatever. Yeah, it was my mistake. It was a dumb one, but I didn't know any better. It won't happen again. Well, this is about 2 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, I'm getting ready to leave. I got all my paperwork done. I'm ready to leave. And he calls me into his office. I said, uh-oh, I'm in trouble now. What does he do? He hands me a mixed drink, a Long Island iced tea.
You wanted to see for himself, I guess.
I guess I was forgiven, but I'm telling you what, the one in the hotel was a lot better. It didn't have any more. This one was too strong, but anyway. Go ahead.
Let me interrupt and catch up on the chat box. Banshee 15, thank you for coming in. He says, ever watch? I think he's talking about Sparky. He goes, he really knows how to build. And amen to that. Yeah, Sparky definitely can build. And nice thing about Sparky, he's not saying that's the only way to do it. This is what works for him. And yeah, I watched Sparky a little bit myself. I've watched him build so many planes. I kind of skip around lately, but I have been watching a little bit of how he's refinished the Junar. It's no longer orange. It's more white than anything else. So that's kind of neat. And I imagine he took off some weight too. Right now, you guys, we have 27 viewers, and we have 22 likes. So if you haven't hit the like button, please do that. We don't have any chat revenue and no new members. And so please consider hitting the like, the join button, and the like won't cost you a thing. So please, if you haven't hit the like button, please do that. That helps the analytics of the show.
Damn, I thought it was 12 o'clock. I'm like, holy shit, time went fast.
Yeah, it's
Well,
I have 8:21 out here.
I just got one comment. Since we're talking about Sparky's building procedures. When I grow up, I want to build just like Howard and Sparky do.
I'm going to do that 24-hour paint job.
I don't know about that now, but I'm telling you what, Sparky does some beautiful building. But God, he loves to become one with a sandpaper.
He's going to do some teeth Wednesday.
He loves that sandpaper. I'm telling you. But I mean, that's the secret to it. I mean, real honestly, that is the secret to a front row finish. Is sandpaper. Whether you're doing an automobile, a van, motorcycle, or an model airplane.
Yeah, I gave up on it again too quickly.
I don't know who coined the phrase. He said that the finish is never finished; it's abandoned.
No, it's Randy Powell.
Randy Powell. Okay.
Don't forget teeth.
Don't forget what?
Teeth. Sparky's making a set of dentures.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Starting really Wednesday. Oh man, I'm out to watch. I could use some dentures.
Sparky's gonna build dentures?
Yes.
Yeah, he already has all the materials.
Yeah.
And he went to a place and they wanted to charge him so much. He just said, forget that. You know, he knows it's not that hard to make.
I've never heard of anybody who would just take a shot at that out of the dark. I've just done.
Well, he has the mouth, aperture which closes and all that, where you make the molds. I mean, it's not like not fooling around. He's actually he had
well, I'm gonna tell you what, he's looking for.
Do it.
I thought he'd make it out of hard balsa wood like George Washington.
I tell you what, if he's looking for a job, he's still doing that. I'm sure he's trying to get into striping still. But I've got a lady here, a good friend of mine's ex-wife, lives in a very exclusive area in a very big house I've been in several times. And that's what she does. She makes dentures. She makes big money making dentures.
Yeah, well, they charge. That's why Sparky was like beside himself. It's like, forgot what they quoted him, but it was, $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000.
Probably.
Yeah.
Or maybe I don't remember. I'm probably mistaken, but it was a lot of money.
No, you're 4,500 is about right.
And he said the materials are like $100.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They mark.
What was that, Al?
I said it gets marked up. The lab doesn't really charge that much.
Oh no, the doctor's the one making the.
Yeah.
He's the one making the killing.
You heard of Brad Smith? He's like a modeler combat flyer.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he does. So
Some of them make big money doing it, I'll tell you that. Of course, I know a couple of guys that paint cars that do pretty good too.
my dad was a dentist.
Oh,
Oh,
my
wow.
goodness. What in the world possessed you to get into automobiles when you had a dentist for a father?
Well,
I have a good excuse. I was just a gearhead from birth, but
yeah, no, actually, my dad didn't understand me because I loved cars and mechanics and everything like that. And my son is similar like my dad, but that's where I did the hobby. My dad like introduced it, but he would do the hobby through me. I did all the flying, building, starting the engine. He would just hold it to launch it. But
my parents were like that. I think they got me into flying to keep me off the streets when I was 9 years old, and gave me something to do. Huh?
And it didn't work.
Oh, well, it did until I got a little older and discovered and met Ronnie Socks and got into fooling around with drag racers. But then I came to my senses and came back to models because the drag racing got way too expensive.
Yeah. Let me say hi to Robert Whitley. Hey, Robert, thanks for coming in.
Hey, Guy. Hey, I see we got some stranger on the calendar this month.
Yeah, we have a stranger on the calendar this month. Let me share it for
Looks kind of shady.
Let me see. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, some people might consider me looking shady, maybe. I don't know. Let me scroll down.
Oh, land sakes.
Let's see here. Here I am. Let me
He's
share
not
this.
an orange. He's not in an orange suit wearing, with numbers on it, so he's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, although he's part of the SV11 gang, but most of us are, so what the heck?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize you had a blue one, Charles. That's what I've got.
Would you
Mine's-
buy a
mine's
used
green.
car from that guy?
Green.
No.
Yeah,
No.
mine's green.
Green?
Yeah, it's green.
Okay, I do have bad light in here then. Mine's blue.
Yeah, let me share this screen so the audience can get a good look at it.
Slick.
Share.
Oh my goodness. Speaking of SV11. Oh my goodness.
Let's see. So here's a picture I'll share. Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Not yet.
There
it is.
Boy,
There
it
it
is
is.
green
So
there.
I'm in the month of May. I didn't know that. So I mean, I forgot that. I didn't know that. I forgot it. So
Yeah.
Cool.
I take it that falls under the race car deal, right?
say it again. Oh, yeah. I just happen to have that shirt on.
No. Never have a green race car because they're bad luck.
Oh, is that what race car drivers? Is that a superstition?
That's right.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
I tell you
Although
what.
Triumph and Lotus sure proved that wrong. They won
Yeah.
enough championships.
Well, my Datsun Roadster, the year I won the championship locally was green. It had been green for years. Now it's red.
Roger Penske had a sponsorship from Miller Beer, and
Yeah.
Miller's paint or color schemes included a green stripe, and he did everything he possibly could to minimize that green on his race car. He
He
didn't
sure
want
did.
didn't want it on the car at all.
He sure
Wow.
did, and it was
So-
such a weird green that it almost looked black. He made it different. It was.
If
Oh.
you got dirt track racing, was it Kinzinger? He was he came in first all the time. Then he went to NASCAR, but didn't do well in NASCAR. He was riding the Budweiser car.
Yeah.
That was, but then he went back to dirt racing again, and he picked up where he left off. Winning all the time.
Well, Steve got a heavy right foot, but you just don't kick a NASCAR left. You don't just kick it left, get on the gas, and then steer right through the turns. It don't work.
Do I have
green cars?
If you ever get a chance to look at one of those cars like Kinzer drives, look at it. You'll enjoy it. There's two pedals in it, a clutch and a gas pedal. There is no brake.
Yeah.
It does not exist.
Wow.
And the clutch, when you depress it for them to push you off to get started, and he said you just kick your foot off the side of it and let it slam shut. and you're in gear and you're moving, and that's it. It's an in and out box. That's it.
Yeah.
That
Well,
thing-
getting
those
back to
things-
airplanes.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Thank you, Robert.
Yeah, I'm a little bit antsy tonight. If hopefully the weather improves, or I'll have to postpone it. But I'm sending a young guy who's about 21 years old up for his commercial flight test in his own Cherokee 140. So whenever I send anyone off for a flight test, I always get real nervous because they're testing me more than they are the student.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've never had a failure, so every one that I have passed just ups the ante.
Yes. You're thinking sooner or later it's going to catch up to you, right?
Yeah, and then Wednesday I've got my stress test to keep my own license. So it's I haven't been doing much for models the last few days. I got that lighting all redone in my shop though for over my new workbenches.
Well, you got light in there now.
You definitely have light. Yeah. I can see
Actually, I'll
some
show you the
there.
real light.
Let's get back to airplanes.
Wow.
Tear your eyes out.
We don't
So
want
there's
to
no
see
excuse
none
for
of
me
our
building
lights.
airplanes crooked. No
They- you
excuse
know
for
what he's
building
done.
airplanes crooked
Yeah,
because it's
model
like
planes
daylight
at
in
that.
here now.
He's put landing lights in his basement. That's what he's done.
Yes.
Oh, those things are only
Mark Wise
20
is in the
bucks a
house. Thank you,
unit.
Mark, for coming
Hey,
in.
Mark.
Hey, Charles. Hey, guys.
Hey guys,
Hey,
how
Mark.
are you?
I'm good.
Hey, guys, I have a comment from Tom Ramo. He's saying Sparky's Junar weight 54.2 ounces before clear.
Wow.
Now, when
Wow.
I flew it, it was 58.5 ounces.
And it was one of the lightest things on the field. It was a beautiful airplane.
I only could dream to fly it again. I want to imagine how nice it flies lighter.
Yeah, he's a character, that's for sure, but that's a heck of an airplane.
What is
Yeah,
all
it
that?
is.
Who's
crumbling
making
sound?
popcorn?
Oh, no, I'm just opening up some pretzels.
Oh, okay.
Would you
No
like
problem.
any?
Sure. send some through.
I'd love some.
Oh, Lord.
And Timothy DeBoard, he says, Phil, you had a Datsun 2000 Roadster. I'm
still
from
have it.
Bryson City, North Carolina, and I had a 69.
Mine's a 69, but mine is one of the weird ones that was built in Canada, built to be sold in Canada, and it has Solexes. It's a left-hand drive, but it's a Solex car, and it's on its second set of Solexes. The first set I just couldn't rebuild anymore, so I bought another set of Solexes. I bought the car for not much more than the Solexes cost now.
Very good.
Wow.
So let's see here. And-
So you muted me, Charles. Was I being bad?
No, I was trying to find the noise. It was Mark opening his pretzels. So
I'm sorry.
No problem. I
think John's on. I just want to let him know that I mailed that package off to him last Tuesday, so hopefully he'll get it soon.
he acknowledged that. He had to mute his mic. He's eating the Red Baron pizza, I think.
I can't believe my bird's being so quiet. John was asking where the bird is. He's right there over my head, but he's being awfully quiet. I don't know what to do
Wow,
with it.
very nice.
Interested in what's
Hey,
going
Mark.
on the Hangout.
Illuminate
Usually when I-
yourself.
Usually when I turn the computer on, he goes crazy. I don't know what's going on tonight.
Hey, Mark, it's dark behind you. You're outside or what?
Yeah, I'm out back. Just I got some guests in the house, and I'm trying to find a place where I can get some quiet.
You in South Kakalaki?
I am. I'm back home. So yeah,
Good gracious.
I've been here for about 4 or 5 days. Got a little bit of flying in yesterday and day before. So yeah.
Well,
Very
darn.
good.
We're gonna be
Sure
down
you're
in.
not just out varmint shooting with a flashlight there, Mark?
No, not yet.
We're gonna be down that way in about 2 weeks.
Okay. Yeah. Well, with any luck, I should be. I may be around. I'm not sure. Yeah.
We'll check before we come, but I'm going.
Yeah.
We're going to Triple Tree, and then I'm going to meet Trey and get my airplane. Pick my airplane up.
Is he
when
going to
gets
be back? Is Trayon going to be back?
He's not coming home. He's going to be there this Sunday, and then the competition is next week. And then what I understand, he's coming home that Sunday, so we're supposed to get together Tuesday or Wednesday that week. That's what I understand. That's subject to change without notice, because he said he wasn't really sure what the return schedule would be. He said getting into Romania is not that hard. Getting out of Romania,
Yeah, I can.
So
I can send him some papers. I can get him out.
I tell you what, he was excited to go, buddy. I'm telling you, he was
Well,
really
good. Well, he really hadn't flown. I mean, he just antsy to fly, and then plus, that opportunity to get over there. I mean, it's good. Yeah.
I think a lot of it is if he wins the Romanian Nationals, he can go to the Worlds. He'll be
Well,
allowed to
that's
fly in the
true.
Worlds.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I hope he has good luck. That's for sure.
I hope he does too.
I want to try to
loaned him the best flying airplane I've ever had.
There we go.
That thing really performs. To be so
Oh.
big, you see it and you see how long it is. You say there's no way you can fly it that deep into a turn, and it makes the turn, but it does.
Oh, his revolutions.
The Revolution, yeah.
I actually flew that when he was over here that one time, and yeah, I thought he was crazy. I probably didn't have 5 total flights control line, and he handed me the handle. I'm like, yeah, right.
Wow.
Well,
that is
Mike and I have both flown it, so it's a great flying airplane.
Yeah,
a
that's
really great
good.
flying airplane.
Yeah, I want to try to get the Hellcat to get a maiden flight on that this week. I got about a couple more runs on the test stand for the FP and 40, and yeah, I was flying the Rat Fink for the last couple of days, and yeah, it's got all the wheels and wings and everything still on it. So yeah,
how about that?
Yeah, I was hoping to get some flying in this weekend, but our forecast is like 18, 20 knot winds.
Yeah,
So,
that's been the issue here, but the last 2 or 3 days it calmed a little bit, So yeah, I was able to slip out. The beauty of here is being able to slip out and you're there. A golf cart ride, you're on a place to fly. So man,
what is 18 knots equivalent to in miles per hour? So I can have a perspective what you're talking about, Robert.
Oh, I had about 7% onto it.
Okay.
Ooh.
It's enough.
Yeah, more than I want to fly in.
Yeah, so you're gonna be a triple tree?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm gonna go down. I don't know if I'll be flying or not. I'll go in the morning and fly and see if as the doctor says, see if it hurts. If I can do the maneuvers and it not hurt, then I'll be at triple tree to fly. If not, I'll go down and watch and see what I can pick up. I can always learn something listening to Randy and I don't know if gosh, now I can't think of his name. One of our buddies that's usually there with Randy just lost his wife last week, and
you're talking about the tall slender guy?
Yeah, Ronnie Farmer.
Yeah,
they've been married 65 years. I didn't think Ronnie was that old. Ronnie don't look that old. You look at him, you think 45.
Wow.
Yeah. He's been married 65 years. He's 80 something. My word. I would not have believed that. But Ronnie is, if you ever want to meet a really nice, genuine individual, he's it.
He can talk.
Well, he can talk, but he's
got a great voice.
Yeah.
I was at his house one night, and I went to Atlanta for something. I don't remember what I went for, but I went over to his house to pick something up. And he says, "Have you eaten?" I said, "No, not yet, but I'll get something on the way out." He said, "Oh, the heck with that. Come on upstairs." Went upstairs. He fixed me 2 hot dogs. I mean, it wasn't like they were there. He fixed me 2 hot dogs. So just a great guy. And then we went downstairs and played with his music room. And I love to bang on the guitar, but at the time I had carpal tunnel so bad I couldn't. But he showed me his guitar collection and his sound room and all, his music room. And I was just in awe. He's got some beautiful stuff. And after I left, he and his wife got Cobras, 2 Shelby Cobras. His was a 500. I don't know whether hers was a 500 or 350, but he's got some toys. He's a neat guy.
Well, see if he has a camera and a microphone and ask him to come into the show.
Well, I will next time I see him. He showed up at the 4A contest in Winston-Salem one year with a 7/8 scale stiletto, back when the stiletto was a 35. It's just a little bit smaller, but still with an OS 35S in it. And it was, you talk about an inked up masterpiece. This thing was absolutely gorgeous. And Les was there with his 700 that year, I think. The years kind of run together on me now, but I believe that's the year that Les had the 700 or the first 660, what became the 660. But he had that there that year, and he looked at it and he says, I wish I could build that good, and just kept walking. So I mean, you know, I don't think you get much higher praise than that. But Ronnie's a heck of a builder, and he's just a really nice guy. I hate for any bad to come to him. He's just a mess.
I
Great
see
guy.
a good looking set of flaps there on Howard's table, looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Howard has got some interesting looking everything. He's a heck of a painter.
Oh yeah.
Well, Lynn, I caught a glimpse of your bear there earlier before I tuned in. Looking mighty fine there, buddy.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, buddy.
It's coming
Then
along.
what span on that plane?
56, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. The only difference from the kit was that I made this one equal panels. So it's
Yeah,
actually
probably-
an inch smaller than what.
Probably a good idea, especially if you're going to use the new lines.
Yeah, it's equal panels.
Hey, Brendan,
Yeah.
what plane are you working on, Brendan? I know that last Friday you and Angstrom was you had a silver and blue plane.
You ready,
Yeah,
John?
it was our Twister last week. This is Pathfinder this week.
Cha-ching.
All right.
I think I mentioned it early in a call last week, but the little bullet connectors, and I've kind of been talking about this plane before, the little bullet connectors, I talked about how I think that maybe some of the electricity was arcing between some of the connectors. So then I put electrical tape on them to keep them separate, and we kept occasionally hearing like a pop noise during the flights. Well, it ended up that one of those bullet connectors just ended up like burning up and becoming just a complete mess. But thankfully, it was at the very end of a flight. We literally got the flight done and down, and then when we went to start it up next go around, it wouldn't go. So found out that the bullets are just bad. So now I'm just soldering the whole ESC straight to the motor, getting rid of connectors, and just going straight for it. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay. Looks
Getting
good.
serious.
Yeah. Yep. Doing some soldering. That's not my strong point, but trying to get it done.
Yeah, well, being electric, you're gonna be soldering a lot from here on out.
All you got to remember about soldering, make a mechanical connection, then make an electrical connection, and get the thing hot, and then put the solder to it. Don't sit there and be trying to poke the solder in there while it's heating up. Just
And
get it hot
cleanliness
then-
is godliness.
and how.
And then don't wiggle it after you solder.
What was that, Howard? I didn't quite get that.
Keep it still after you solder it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hard part.
Yeah.
Or having an extra set of hands there to help you.
Actually,
That
do you have a set of those alligator clip holders? Those are
I
just
do
great.
actually.
I got it.
Yeah,
Help
I do.
me. Yep. I got it right here.
Good. That's a big help.
And you got one with a magnifying glass.
Yeah, I got one just like that.
All us geezers have one with a magnifying glass.
Yes, that's right. That's right. I have one of those too. Now, what kind of soldering gun are you using, Brendan?
I got a soldering pin here. Maybe that's where kind of some of my issues are. I would assume that maybe this is kind of underpowered for what I need
Yeah,
to do.
doesn't get hot enough.
Usually those things are really hot.
Yeah, they are actually. Yeah.
You might just need to clean the tip and then retin it.
Could be.
Yeah. Yeah, I use steel wool on it, and then also a wet rag here.
Yeah, just let it warm up real good before you try it.
Yeah. For general soldering, if the wires aren't too fine, I still like this old
That's
beast.
it.
I got
That is
this
a
one
beast.
back in about 1972. And
I've never got the hang
I've
of using
replaced
one of
lots of
those.
tips, but you just can't kill these old ones.
Yeah, I have one of those, and I have the 250 watt one also.
I have
You
a
guys
collection.
should see my soldering iron. I've been using it since I built my very first airplane, and I've built every plane with it.
Really?
Wow.
Wow, very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
I've had it since I was 16 years old. I bought my first Ringmaster, and I went up to the hardware store and bought my own soldering iron.
Wow.
Still
Wow.
using it.
Wow. Hey,
So if it's
obviously it works good.
that old land, is it coal fired?
I'll show it to you. Hang on.
All right. All right.
I have a.
I've been using a Miller soldering gun for 50 years, and I only recently learned on Stunthangar that the first click is the high
low
temperature.
heat. Yeah.
The spec is the low.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I learned that too recently on the show.
This
Big to learn on setting.
Is
You
that,
got
is
there,
that the
Al?
torch?
is a soldering iron you need.
That's the torch one, right?
Yeah,
Well, not the torch, but the gas
it's a
one.
torch. It is a
Yeah,
torch.
yeah, that's that's
Yeah.
really good for out in the field too. I've been
Those
meaning
work
to
well.
get one for the field because I don't always
They
have
work
electricity
well.
to plug into.
They work well. Butane powered.
Snap on.
Yeah, you can't go wrong
Well,
with
I
that.
can't afford that.
Yeah.
I can remember a few years ago, there was somebody wrote in on Stunthangar that their old Weller gun wasn't working. So I just wrote back, did you try tightening the nuts?
Right.
He said, oops, works great now.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you got to
true.
retighten. I retighten them every time I use it. I just loosen it, pull on that wire, and tighten it back because
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's the trick.
you
Bust
got
the
to do
Trojan
it all the time. Then it heats up really quick. If it doesn't heat up quick, something's wrong. It shouldn't take long to heat up.
There
This
you
is
go.
the oldest tool I own.
Let me see this.
Need flint and steel. to
Holy
get that warmer.
mackerel.
Oh wow, that's a nice.
Oh,
That's
Weller.
one, that's
a
one
nice
like we
size
used
one.
to do fuel tanks.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
that's
solder everything with this thing. It's got a 3/8-inch round tip on the end of it.
yeah, I can
Lord,
see
you
that
get
working
something hot
good.
for that.
It's hot. It really works good.
now
But
here's
I can't replace it though.
Here's
No,
a
you won't
repo.
find one like it anymore.
this
Well,
how many-
this thing, once it's warm, this thing gets super hot.
Hang on, let me find you, Al. Just a second. Where are you at? Okay. All right, I'll make you big.
It's right there.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
cheapy.
Oh yeah.
Cheapy, but it gets super hot. That's
It's got
Wow.
30 watts.
That'd be perfect for those little bullet connectors because sometimes with that little bitty fine wires with the bullet connectors on the electric, it's like you get
Has a
too
little
big.
point.
Yeah.
Things this thing, I have one of those Weller's guns, and that's just a pain in the neck. And then plus
Well,
you
they're
got
heavy.
trigger, and then the nuts get corroded. You got to undo the nuts and tighten them up again.
right.
This one's 80 watts.
Yeah,
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Hang on, let me see.
that's for mountain lead.
I could
Well,
burn
I
down the whole city with this thing.
Yeah,
I have vowed that the next time I open a tank that has been used, a fuel tank, I will use a soldering iron because I still remember the blue flame and the pop when the end went off the tank. And it shot across the kitchen because I was using the flame. So
there you go.
You got to remember there was flammable fuel in that thing previously. Oh,
ain't
wow.
making
You guys,
Oh,
I
yeah,
have
there
a comment from Jeff Riley in the chat box. He says, good point, Brent. Solder. Oh, matter of fact, let me say what Brent said. Brent Williams said, quality flux never hurts anyone for good. Fast solder connections. And then Jeff Riley says, good point, Brent. Solder won't go where the flux don't flow, and cheap flux doesn't flow.
That's true.
Well, speaking of solder, since we're on that subject, I had watched one of probably one of Wendy's videos, and he was just a super fan of the Stay Bright.
Stay bright silver solder.
Silver solder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
I've got
I
some,
haven't
but I
used it.
really haven't used it all that much.
I've used it. I've got 2 packs of it downstairs because I couldn't find the first one, so I went and bought a second one.
Yeah.
Funny thing, then I said, well, now, where did I put that gum flux? So I went and looked for my flux, and there's my Stay Bright.
Yeah, I'm gonna put together a couple more tanks, and I want to try maybe the sorter I have is old or whatever. It just it's
Oh, it
raw.
don't get old. It don't get old. I've got
Yeah,
some stuff
it just I just can't get it to flow right. So maybe it's who knows.
Try something
Make sure
else.
you-
Exactly.
Exactly.
Make
Well,
sure
I've got
you-
this
yeah.
big old roll of electronic rosin core stuff that I've had for probably 40 years. It's a lifetime supply still on there, and I've
Great.
never had a problem with it.
You know,
Yeah,
the guy that taught me how to make tanks, Bill Biles, he actually told me not to use silver solder on the tanks.
No, not on tanks.
They'll rust.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so,
Ah.
so not for tanks. For
It
everything
sure will.
else, be fine, but not for the tanks.
No,
Not
you
for the- not
use
for the
that
fuel
rosin
tanks.
core. Use
Yeah,
rosin
that's what
core,
I
remember
use
to-
is rosin
remember to
core
flush
and
it out.
everything.
Remember
Right.
to flush it out well.
Anything
Like
electrical
this-
is rosin core. Don't use acid core on electric. It'll
Right,
corrode.
yeah, I know that.
And yeah, I learned that when I was a CBer. I used acid core solder to do my connectors. And then about later, I wasn't getting a signal out anymore. My antenna couldn't figure it out.
me.
I've
Yeah.
got a,
Oh, we live and learn.
Learn the
I've got
hard.
another-
Yeah, we do.
I've got another story to support an old story from Lynn.
Uh-oh.
Well, yeah, as you guys, I'm still trying to learn the beginner pattern, and things are getting comfortable, So I've been doing my lazy eights, and I said, well, okay, just tighten up the lazy eight, right? Just just tighten it up and bring it down to the cross in the middle. And then I remembered a story from Lynn one night when he was talking about when they come out and ask you, what are you doing? Yeah, because I was doing not doing the first loop.
Right.
Yeah, you're doing
Second
it
one,
backwards. You're doing lazy eights instead of stunt eights. Exactly.
And I thought about that the other day and I went, something's wrong with this. I can't remember what it is. I don't know what it is, but then I went, Lynn, I remember now.
Yeah. Inside loop first,
I'm
then
back.
outside in front of it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I have
only
another.
scared.
Go ahead, Mark.
Oh, that's all right. I'm just and I only scared myself twice this week, so that's pretty good. So I attempted a vertical 8 and I was kind of nervous on top, so I tightened it up a little too much. Yeah, and
Just bring it up high enough so you have enough room to get on a, to do the half of it. You bring it all the way up to the top.
So your plane survived the vertical 8, Mark?
Oh yeah. Things just got a little light, so I started, done the panic run for a couple of steps, and
Good. Just remember on that bottom loop, you want to make sure your hand follows the plane, or lead it all the way around, because when the plane gets below your hand, you actually change the input.
Or you change the
No, you
control.
didn't, but just by the fact the plane got below you, so you want to come down with your hand, or else
I got some pretty tall bottoms, so but that's all right.
Perfect.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah,
that's not a problem.
Yeah, and the other thing too is maybe well, as you guys know, I mean, is learning that let off just a little bit in the insides and the outsides, instead of just holding it, and by the time you get around, even though you're following it around, you just gotta let off just a little bit. So it's coming together. But
it is. That sounds like it is. It sounds
Good.
like it's coming together.
So I did a trip down memory lane today. Was blasting through videos and stumbled across Rusty's old site that Holly has up. So I watched him flying his TD-010 powered Ringmaster. That was a hoot. He tried to go inverted with it and splattered it, but.
Well, you guys that fly full scale know, ain't nothing wrong with having high bottoms. Altitude is insurance.
Yeah,
it is.
I've got a pile of balsa wood in my little shop here to prove that. So I think about 12-foot bounce with pieces of wood is my record. So I don't.
Wow.
If somebody used to sign off on all the YouTube comments, he'd sign off, I have never crashed, but I have proved that gravity sucks. I don't remember who that was, but
that's Glenn Reach.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And gravity does suck.
Yeah, gravity sucks.
Guys, let me catch up on some of these chats that we have quite a few around this solder subject. So Brent Williams says, stay bright is great for trash can repairs. Keep it away from your control system in these planes.
Well,
yeah.
Well, like I say, I think I'll stick with the rosin core. Maybe just get a different lot of rosin core or something.
Yeah, that might work.
I think the Stay Bright's fine for your control plane, just not the fuel tanks. That's my opinion.
Well, it's also you got to remember if you use the some of the Stay Bright comes with a flux. Right. That is, I've forgotten what to call it, but some of it's acid. You don't want to use that acid on any of the wire, any of the control system, because it will turn to rust and it will.
Well, Wendy always said to make sure you deflux it, with water and baking
Yeah,
soda.
baking
Yeah,
soda.
always,
With
he
rust.
was
But
big
people
on the
always
baking
forget
soda
that.
and water. Yep.
People
Yeah, I
always
mean,
forget
I
that.
have a jar with a brush with water and baking soda always there, so that I don't have an excuse to not use it.
Well, as long as you remember
Let
to
me
use it,
continue
you're all
on
right.
with the next
Go ahead.
comment by Jeff Riley. He says, "Stay Bright is too brittle. It won't put up with the vibration. 50/50 rosin core has worked for me for a long time." And then Tom Rammel, he goes on to say that because of ROHS, the solder does not have the lead anymore. Leadless solder does not flow as well as the old stuff with lead in it. So
Okay.
Yeah, I
that
hadn't
might
thought
be a
about that,
problem
but that
too.
makes
All the
perfect
stuff that
sense.
used to work, we can't get anymore. And
So it's a
this
good
is-
thing I got a big spool of the old stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
And then Jeff Riley goes on to say,
Yeah, just
Tom,
don't use it for plumbing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Jeff Riley goes on to say, Tom, I have a stash of spools from an old electrician friend. If you need some old 50/50, just contact him. So maybe we
Sure.
should all contact Jeff Riley.
Yeah,
I'd like to have some too.
I wouldn't mind it.
Some of that old stuff that has lead in it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Charles, you said about the baking soda, when you do it, solder a tank, you flush it out with baking soda also.
Yeah.
Okay, I've been using that rosin core, and Bill Biles just had me. We used MEK to clean the tank when we got done.
MEK will work. Alcohol will work if it's 91%. Don't use the
I
cheap
usually use
stuff, though.
lacquer thinner because I buy it in 5-gallon bales.
Yeah, that'll
I don't
work
blame
too.
you then, Robert.
That'll work.
Everybody uses
5
something
gallons.
else.
Wow.
Hey, Brett, I got a question for Brett. Brett, did Gordon fly his new plane yet?
We'll see what he says. But Brent Williams did say, "Stay Bright will break your heart. In our little neck of the woods, we have had many control system failures in some very well built planes from master builders. Run away from that crap."
Yep.
Wow.
Okay, good
So
info.
I think Brent, I guess I'll have a little change of heart. I don't know. I just been listening to Wendy for all these years. and he's
Yeah,
such a
you
proponent
might
of it.
want to stay away from the Stay Bright though.
Well, Wendy, one thing you need to remember about Wendy, and I think the world of Wendy to this day, but Wendy had an awful lot of planes that went in because of line breakage and all, stuff like that. And what did Wendy use? But he used acid core solder and he used solid lead outs.
I can
Love
tell you,
those solid lead outs.
Just saying.
I can tell you from firsthand experience, having taken the Testarossa apart, all those control horns were corroded to HE double hockey sticks and back.
Well, that's enough right there.
Okay, well, thank you, Mike. Yes, that's a
When we busted that thing down, every place there was solder on that control system looked terrible.
okay. Well, thank you for that. I'll stay away from Stay Bright then. And then Tom Rammel says, "Jeff, thanks, but I kept some old solder also." And then Brent Williams says, "No, Gordy has not had a flight on the Twin yet."
Okay.
Hey, Charles, or Brent, did you get your bell cranks I sent you? See if he types a message, Charles.
Sure, I'll let you know.
I got one for our little buddy what likes foxes. I'm gonna be
Jeff
flying
Riley?
a Fox, Jeff Riley. I'm gonna be flying a Fox 35 in the morning, so you'll be happy.
Now, what was Mike Millard looking for? Remember, Mike Millard wanted something. Anyways, Brent Williams says, still working on marching the Magnum 15s. Excuse me, not marching, matching. Still working on matching the Magnum 15s. And he hasn't yet responded to your inquiry, Mike.
Okay.
Just give him a moment.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I got to sign off here, guys, and get some sleep. But I haven't forgotten about doing that fuel tank thing. It's just I had so many other projects on the go. So one of these days I'll do that, and we'll look at maybe more soldering in depth then and forming metal.
So you're gonna do rosin core, right?
Yeah.
All right, that'll work.
Show how I don't drill for the tubing. I punch it.
Yeah.
with an all
Yeah.
into
And
a die.
that's what Bill Biles showed me also. Bill Biles, he just punched the hole. And nice thing about it, it creates like a ferrule. So when the tube goes in there, it even has more area to solder to.
It also tends to hold it in place better while you keep it in position while you solder it.
Yeah. Yeah. I have
Okay,
another
well, good night, guys. Hopefully
All
we
right,
see you
good night,
Friday.
man.
Good night.
Take it
Night.
easy, man.
We'll
Yeah.
see you.
Night. Take care.
And then Jeff Riley says, I have even gone to the trouble to try to TIG weld the control horns. Wow. Wow,
I've seen people TIG weld razor blades, so I guess it's possible. But
wow.
I even used to try soldering with wood burning set pins.
Oh Lord,
It worked. Yeah, for small stuff, you know.
it worked.
well, somebody brought up that point a while ago with less lead in it nowadays. If the older sorter with more lead would melt at a lower temperature, I would guess. Yeah, seems like.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird. Solder makes no sense. The two materials that it is made up of, lead and tin, it actually melts at a lower temperature than either one of those two do.
Yeah.
It's probably because of the alloy of those two together.
I guess it is.
Gentlemen, I'm going to end the stream, but right now it's 9 o'clock out here, and I'm going to get back to celebrating my new adult in my household, my 18-year-old daughter. So I'm gonna have to pass off the handle to someone else to be the host in the after party. But before I do that, let me just do a quick recap. We had as many as I think 28 people watching us at one point in time, and that's pretty good for Monday night. We had 27 likes out of 28 people. Thank you very much. We'll be back. Make sure before you leave please hit the thumbs up. I'm talking to you in the audience. And if you're watching this as a replay, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Thumbs up. And we will see you guys Friday. Hopefully you have a chance to do something in your shop or go flying and come back and do some show and tells Friday night. So with that, we're saying good night, but we're going to continue on in the after party as soon as I find a host to take over for me. So good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, Charles.
I know.
Check out too. So good night.